Should be able to see my screen. Just let me know if you can. Just say yes and that audio is alright. Yes, okay, cool. So yesterday's trade, alright, we again, and I explained this on yesterday's setup. Hi man, missed that. What shook you? So I'll show you now. Alright, so yesterday when we took our trade, right, we essentially took a trade on the retest of GZ. Okay, yesterday GZ. It's obviously irrelevant now because it's a new day, and this 15-minute trend, right? But we did say that, look, keep in mind we do have a FEG above, but price was consolidating over here at this price point, right? Which kind of we got trapped here. Okay, we got trapped with this trade setup. But we see that price came all the way up to that FEG that we marked. And look where it rejected yes high as well as this, I think it was a 1 hour descending trend. All right. So once price broke this descending trend, didn't necessarily get a retest yet. Okay. But we can see that price came up to yes high, all the way to yes high, rejected at yes high as well as the 1 hour descending trend, and then absolutely tanked. All right. And this was our prediction for Nasdaq, right? We were looking for price coming to the 50%. Now look, right, we were aiming for last week GZ, okay, which was this price point here, okay, last week GZ. Price literally came into our golden zone, and since then, it's been playing to the upside, all right? Now, I just had to go over this trade because obviously yesterday we took that 1% loss over here. We kind of got in a little bit too early, all right? We did get confirmation, but I think someone in the chat mentioned the news that came out, right? It was something about the EU and the tariffs with the States. And that essentially, I'm not too sure if that's the sole news that kind of pushed price all the way to where it is now, all right? But it was definitely a contributing factor, okay? And yeah, price literally came out, rejected at this area, which was quite nice to see, but unfortunately we weren't in it, and came all the way down to that last week golden zone. All right, so I just wanted to go over this quickly, just show you guys, what played out, and obviously the trade that we took. In terms of today, right, so my bias for the weekly was bullish, but for the daily it was bearish, right? So if we remove this stuff over here, I'm just going to do a quick overview on what we could potentially look at for today. All right, so that FEG is sorted now. So let me just move this. Going to on the daily, all right. So looking at the daily, past 2 days we've been bearish, all right. But again, for the week, I'm still bullish. All right, we touched that 50% zone. If you see over here, tapped it quite nicely. So for me, if price dips below golden zone, all right, we should see potentially price coming down to fill that imbalance over here. All right, but it's still quite a big drastic move to ask for Nasdaq to come all the way down to this imbalanced price. Right, we're looking at roughly like 20,254. Okay, so for the week, I'm still bullish. I'm probably seeing a daily flip today. All right, so daily flip. So that would be that the past 2 days were bearish, but we'll probably have a bullish day today and then a continuation throughout the week. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. A bullish flip today and then a continuation in terms of bullish momentum throughout the week. Now, what do we usually do? All right, so yes, 1.618, that was also our target. Got hit. Yes, GZ we can remove. Now, all we are looking for, right, is we're looking for the yes low and yes high. Okay, so today is Thursday. That means that we're obviously looking for the Wednesday high and Wednesday low. All right, so Wednesday high we have over here, basically the same as the previous day. And then Wednesday low, this butte. All right. Now keep in mind, right, like I said, although prices becoming extremely extremely bearish, right? We have a huge FEG above here. We are still, again, looking for a potential long entry, right? Because I'm looking for that bullish flip. So because we are bullish, right, same thing as always, we take our fib retracement top to bottom. We identify our golden zone. So that is our golden zone. All right, as well as our 1.618. Now, what I would essentially look at, right? Yes, we can probably find an entry lower down. Again, we just need additional confluence, right? But what I'm ideally looking at with Nasdaq is if price comes back into that 15-minute descending trend that we have over here, we can essentially convert this to a 1-hour trend now. All right, and plays above the golden zone. We can look for some nice long opportunities. All right, but just looking at this, let's just try identify. Remember, when we look for FEGs, all right, we have momentum candles that obviously got filled. Momentum candles that got filled. All right, now this big boy over here, all right, got filled over here, so we're happy with that. But this candle over here hasn't necessarily been filled yet. All right, and nor has the one above it. So we have from over here. All right, and let's just also identify the one at the top. So we can take this FEG, take it all the way here. All right, so we have a fair value gap over here. All right. And that would be our main target for the day, this fulfillment. Once price fills that fair value gap, all right, we need to obviously make sure that we are protected in terms of entries. We do have a 15-minute trend over here. But at this point, we need to make sure that our trade positions are protected, right? Because we could easily get a fill, all right, also a rejection at last week's high, maybe yes high, and then a continuation to the downside, okay? But just based off what I've seen from the past, how Nasdaq moves, we could have our first bullish day of this week, right? So a bullish flip. Now, the main thing is trying to find an entry, okay? So we're just scavenging over here so far, but we have a 15-minute trend. Okay, and we also have GZ at the bottom with yes low. This GZ is last week's low. We could possibly look at maybe a double bottom. All right, so something like this. SR would be at the bottom of this GZ. First target would be this trend or golden zone. All right, something like that. That would be first target. Second target would be this ascending 15-minute trend and possibly the FEG. Obviously, depends on the time frame that price comes into this area. Secondly would be yes high. All right, and then finally it would be yes 1.618. All right, so that is scenario one. If price breaks that 15-minute trend, forms a double bottom on the 15-minute, respects golden zone and yes low. All right. Now the safer trade option, right, would obviously be us coming into this 1-hour descending trend, okay, breaking above to the upside, getting a retest, which is also in our golden zone, having stop loss at yes low. All right, so it'd be entry just slightly above here, and then we would have the same targets. All right, same targets, but again, once price hits those obstacles, you need to make sure that either you are your positions at break even, and your TPs are at significant areas, right? So FEG, yes high, ascending trend lines and 1.618 Fibonacci levels. All right, so my bias for today is a bullish flip. We're either going to get a 1 hour descending trend break. All right, so a break and a retest. So something like this. Okay, you guys get it, okay? Just something like that, okay? That's essentially what I'm looking at for option 2. Now, option 1 was price coming down into the last week golden zone, also yes, low, breaking back above. All right, something like that, okay? That would be option 2. So the key areas to look out for long positions would be yes low, last week's golden zone, and also a break on this 1 hour descending trend line. All right, so I'm just trying to run this through quickly with you guys because I have to head to the airport in like 2 hours. I'm going to make sure that I export this video quickly that's been recorded so that you guys can watch over it. And if I can trade, I will go live, but I highly doubt it because my flight leaves at New York Open, essentially. Pretty funny, but yeah. So yeah, that's my outlook for today. Let's see if it plays out. And good luck, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, being Friday. We'll get back to trading as usual. All right, have a good day and see you guys tomorrow.